Alright, welcome back everybody. We're going to go ahead and take this apart. On the last video we realized or discovered that these two buttons are the triggers, the Z and C button, don't function. So let's take this apart, give it a good clean, because there is some yellowing going on, along with connector 2. So we're going to have to try and clean that up. So let's get into it. Pretty sure these screws are just holding on the gray faceplate here. What I really need to do is take apart the screws on the bottom to get into it, but I might be doing this backwards, we'll see. Fixing to find out. Let's get that into view, there we go. Let's grab. Got this nice e-durable kit off Amazon. I'll share the link to it in the video, but it's got a lot of great tools for working on these systems and these controllers. As I suspected, it just holds that gray plate on. Oof. Get under there and look at it. Let's see if we can get some better light. But that is nasty. I'm not sure what that could be. I don't know if it was a glue. Something. Maybe somebody's been in here once before. I can't really tell, but I don't know if that is supposed to be there. It's gross. So, let's drop that back in for now. Fix that. Okay, let's go. Let's flip it over. And let's get in the back. This is just being held on by regular Phillips heads. So, there we go. Let's get some better light here, huh? There we go. Okay. Let's flip this back over. In the bottom, it should fall right out. And there we go. Okay. Now we can see here, this thing, it's pretty gross. I don't know what that could be. It's pretty nasty. Pretty nasty all around. So, that is the bottom plate. It's metal. Very, very thick and heavy piece of metal there for a controller. And there's really not a whole lot to the inside. Let's go ahead and unplug our controllers. See that there? Let's unplug the buttons, I should say, not the controllers. Jesus. Alright. There's no clip, it's just in there. I'm gonna work it out side by side by side. There we go. Each individual button, and it looks like, if you can see here, it looks like each button kind of has a, almost like a glue holding the plug into it. So I'm going to have to take those part one at a time. Super fun. And you got your joypad control here. That's the plug for that, and this is the main plug going to the system, which is wrapped around something right now. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright. So, I might need to re-glue these. I'm not sure why it was glued, but here we go. Yeah, see. It's just a two-prong plug on each one. There's not a whole lot keeping it there, so that glue is certainly necessary. Let me put this back together. I'm going to have to remember what color cord goes to what button. So thank God for the magic of video. I got the blue, brown, green, red, orange, and yellow. So I'm going to have to remember that, or we are going to have a hard time getting this working right. There's that. There's that. There's that. And finally that. And last but not least, our start button. Which is purple. Easier to, this one doesn't unplug, rather the whole thing is held together by a clip. There we go. And there is, if I can find it on the viewfinder, there we go. Okay. So, pretty good, not dirty or anything. So there is all our cords. So we're going to give these a clean, make sure all the wires are plugged in all the way, and hopefully we'll get those trigger buttons fixed. And these will just fall out. Okay, maybe not. Let's unplug our joystick. There's that. And last but not least, the the main cord. Okay, so you can get out of here. I have now officially torn apart my fingernails doing this. Super fun. So, this is being held on by 4 Phillips heads. So let's get in there and take those out. And let's fix the view so you can see it better. There we go. And it's free. Let's get that screw out of there. Come on. There we go. Okay. So, should be able to unscrew the joystick with that flathead. So let's see if this works. So grab it from the actual joystick and hold it. Turn that left, okay. Hate flatheads. And there we go. Got our joystick ball here. And this guy will come right out. Hello, and that's not too bad. Let's take a quick close look at it. A little bit of dirt up in there, but all in all, not too bad at all. A little bit of dirt down in there, hard to see. We'll get that cleaned out too. Alright. We'll get to those in a minute. There's our buttons. Couple more pieces to take off here. We just need to get the board off, held on by 4 Phillips heads, and then we got the VMU slot, which has a plastic cover, so that will come off, held on by 2 Phillips heads. What am I doing with the flathead? There we go. The board itself looks really good. I don't see any issues with the pins. Let's grab these. Last but not least, there's our board. There's a little bit of glue residue here. Again, overall, not too bad at all. Very clean. It's one of the few things inside of this that's actually clean. Regardless, we'll give it a good scrub with some isopropyl alcohol. Let's get that out of the way. That just kind of pops out. Seems to be wedged right there, and I don't want to break that. Let's see. Very, very brittle looking. And that does not want to come out without possibly breaking. So let's see if I can pop this guy up. Kind of help it out. There we go. There we go. Alright. And that's it. That's not too bad. Just needs a little bit of cleaning. Definitely got some yellow going on in there. You can see the difference in color. If I zoom in a little bit, you can see how it should look and how it's been discolored over time. So we'll go ahead and fix that, and the whole unit needs to be retrobrited. Last is the start button. You should just pop out. You're being held on by two clips. One there. Hopefully that'll get you. One over here. Not an easy spot to get. I don't know if you could see that. And it's in an inconvenient spot. Got it a little bit cleaner. That stain, whatever it was really stubborn. Overall though, it's looking pretty good. Next step is to get that into the retrobriting bucket, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to use 12% hydrogen peroxide and UV lighting. It'll probably sit in here for roughly a day or so to get rid of this yellowing. So let's see how this turns out. Had to add a heavy mug with water to kind of hold it down. It's not completely under the peroxide, so I may have to do this in steps because I don't feel like waiting another week for Amazon to deliver more of it. So I'll probably do a half day or so like this, and then I'll flip it upside down and get the other side, so that way we got all of it covered. So let's plug it in and see how it looks. So let's let it sit. Check it out in about a day. And here we go. So we got it done with the retrobriting. It sat in there for just a little over a day, and there is a massive difference on the color. You can kind of see it when you compare the plug to the rest of the device. So let's go ahead, start reassembling. So, gone ahead and decided to get some replacement buttons. As I figured, removing the older buttons proved to be difficult because the plastic had become so brittle. A lot of them, actually 4 of the 5, the clips broke off in removing them from their housing. So, not a big deal. Went ahead and bought new ones. However, the hole size on the metal here is 29 millimeters, and you can't buy 29 millimeter buttons anymore. So these are what is that, Sanwa arcade buttons, but they are 30 millimeter. They come in 30 and 24 millimeter sizes, so they are slightly too big to fit in the holes we have now. So what I'm going to do is take my Dremel, and you can see I've already started one, and I'm going to grind the metal down pretty much until, if I can get closer, you can see there's little notches on each hole. So I'm going to grind it down until those notches are no longer there. In doing so, our buttons will now fit. Might need to do a little more grinding on that one just to give it a better snug fit. So here we go. And you know what? This gave me an excuse to buy a Dremel. I've been meaning to get a Dremel. Picked up a Dremel 3000 today. I love this tool. I had one before. I don't know what happened to it, but I've been meaning to get one again. It's a nice little tool for applications such as this. It'll get the job done really quick for us. Alright. Couple more. I was grinding my thumb off. Just gotta get past the clip. And there we are. Metal shavings all over my workbench. There we go. Looks beautiful. Even with the grinding, it still fit. You had some real estate here between each of them, so no issues of whatsoever. The only trick now, got a little bit of bend to the metal. Let's fix that. The only trick now is this. So, if you look at the older ones, let's get closer so you can see. The older ones, the pins are very, very small. With these Sanwas, they're much bigger. And I think I can hear the mailman in the background, and hopefully he has the wires that I had bought with the quick connect. So I'm going to go ahead and check that out, and we can quick connect. I'm going to have to cut these, and you can see the ground daisy chains from start to each and every button. So we're going to, and then it ends up here. So this gray wire is not the ground but the common wire. So we're going to start with this, and then we're going to quick connect solder connections to each colored wire to the new home. So that is the next step. And that was the mailman, and they did deliver my wires. So I got these from a website called Focus Attack. I'll put the link to the product in the description of the video here. So I got 16 wires here, so more than enough to finish this job. It's going to be quite a bit of soldering to do. And there's more than enough wire to do the job. But with these quick connects, I'll be able to, without having to solder them on, I can connect them to the new Sanwa buttons. So I'm going to go ahead and snip these off, and I'm going to get the soldering. Soldering iron's hot. First things first, let's put the face plate. I already got 2 screws going, so I'm going to put the face plate back on. And then get to cutting some wire and soldering it together. So the wiring I bought, there's 16 total wires, 2 of each color. So what I'm going to do to kind of keep the common wires organized, I separated the black, gray, and white wires from the colored, the red, orange, green, yellow, and blue. And I'm going to use those to keep track of the action buttons. And that doesn't sit in there. It's not sitting in there so good. Let's find out why. So much metal shavings that's stuck to my drill bit. Don't know if you can see it on the video, but there are little metal shavings all over. There we go. Okay. So now we got this. Buttons still look good. So now for the fun part. Again, I'm going to start with the start button, which is here, and I am going to snip off common wire, the common black wire, and solder the connections together, and go from each one to each one. So if I look at my diagram, just wanted to make sure I keep track. So the red does go here. So what I'm going to do, just to keep track as I go along, I'm going to connect one wire. I don't need that much slack, so I'll probably snip it off about here. Maybe a little less, just as it can be a bit of overkill. So there's my excess. Don't need you. These are Klein tools, and it's meant for coax cable, so I'm having a tough time here. The right tools for the job certainly helps. I'll struggle along, but it'll work eventually. There we go. Okay. So, there's that. Now I'm going to cut you off here. There we go. So now I need to, this wiring is so fine, I might be able to just tear it off. Maybe not. Got one. There we go. So now I'm going to solder these connections, these together. Give it a nice twist, that'll help me. That should be good. Perfect. I'm going to repeat that 5 more times. So I'll save you the boringness, and I'll turn the video back on once we are all wrapped up here and ready to plug it all together. Alright, so looks like a hot mess because I've added wire to it, obviously, by doing but adding these quick connects, so looks confusing as all get out, but it I swear they're all in the right spots. Adding electrical tape just to the end of the soldered connections just so we don't have metal floating around in here and giving it potential to touch each other, because that'll either make it malfunction or not keep it from working properly at all. But here we are. So each button is wired up, got the ground or the common daisy chain going. I'll do my best to tuck as much as I can into here. Quite honestly, it doesn't all matter that much. Just so long we can shut it, we're good. Got every wire. That was kind of loose. There we go. Beautiful. Give it one last clean. Let's get our bottom plate. Everything else just want to check, make sure connections are solid. We're good, we're good, we're good. Let's do this. Maybe. There we go. Alright, we're actually plugged in this time. I didn't bother putting the something's wrong with my Dreamcast. That's next. It keeps, I'm guessing the CMOS battery is bad because it asks me for the date settings every time I boot it up. No VMU found, that's fine. Start button works.
Hey, come on over, have some fun with Crazy Taxi.
I'm gonna mute it because last time YouTube didn't appreciate me having the songs from this game being played. Alright, so play by arcade rules. Hey, button works. Alright. So far, so good. There we go. Doing one hand here so I can hold the camera. Whoa. Bam. So our new buttons work. Quick connect wiring, I hit the wrong button. So there we go. New buttons, new wiring works. Either way, I shall end the video here. I appreciate everybody for taking the time to watch my videos. If you like what you've seen, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified in any future videos. If you have any comments about this video, please feel free to leave me a message in the comments. and have a great day. Thanks.